They seem very happy to be. Ooh, silence the haters.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
The little anime, like, pushes up glasses.
My God, those are some athletic eyebrows.
Athletic. They're about to run away.
Yeah, lifting weights.
Oh,
Clean.
the hair
rock
game.
on.
The hair game is
Yo, it's
crazy.
clean.
I need help with the fringe.
Do you see this? Like, just glowing. The sheen is nice. All right, we in.
Hello. Yay! We're just
Content,
happy to be here.
Absolutely
you know.
ready to rock.
I'm also happy to be here. The jackets are so cool. Everyone's looking like pilots. This
I
guy
love
forgot
him.
his jacket at his room. Oh.
Oh.
So my bad.
Oh.
My
Hello
my
there.
Bad? My bad.
All right.
Hey, yo.
A second striker dinner will be had.
Oh, staring contest.
Oh,
Don't
stare.
blink.
Stare down.
Oh.
Oh.
I blinked. That threw me off.
Dang it. They seem like they're having a great time.
Hey, what's up? The posture's throwing me off. Oh.
Damn. We just got the rocket fist.
I was going to say, he's ready to fight. Is he a Panther player? That's going to be a fun time. We're loading into our first map very shortly. And then we'll have the picks and the bans. And it's going to be cool to see how they target each other. Because there's footage out there.
Okay, so I actually want to see the Inferno band. This is kind of crazy, but also you have to worry about Carrara. Mostly, Carrara does change the Hurricane on Palm Bay Harbor, so maybe you can avoid it if you're not on that map first, because it is randomized. So it's not like a team gets the good coin flip and pick their favorite. That only comes when you lose the first map, and you want to kind of be winning the first one. We've seen only a few games be reverse sweeps, and they've only been reverse sweeps.
Yeah, if you go and ban that Inferno, I think Yui from LUNABREAK is going to have some choice words with you, showing us the potential of that on Graceland Sky City. But we are going to see those bans here and now, starting with Reject and LUNABREAK. And remember, this affects both teams, so you want to be a good teammate.
Stego on your screen. Flipping around. Luminate now. Hovered over by Reject.
So, for any a reminder for anyone just checking out this game for the first time, this is a payload-based map, and you're going to want to stack it with as much ultra heavies, strikers with a lot of health, a lot of armor. And the Leasness, now not as much of a tanky striker per se, but someone that stalls a lot with being able to be de-armored and then get back in. Many, many lives. Stego removed. Tricera's still in the game, Riv.
Tricera's in, Hurricane's in, Inferno's in, and oh, they were all just locked in by the side of LUNABREAK. Do we have it on the other side, though? Aquila, Inferno, Welkin, Hurricane. Oh, there is going to be so much energy damage in this game. We are going to have to focus on how the Welkins are playing to deny that energy damage. That's Macy Fishy and Arun on Welkin. Now, we'll see their boxes. We don't have to completely focus on them, but they need to mitigate a lot of this damage. The fact that Stego is out means the fluid shield regen is gone for these tanks sitting on the payload.
And the sniper still in play, that Aquila. So keep an eye on what Lori and
Yachty.
Those were the two big snipers to watch, with Lori being the #1 player statistically. And that's no surprise to me, considering how powerful LUNABREAK were yesterday and how much of a speed run their match was.
Yeah.
They are the team to beat.
I'm excited to see if we get the high ground play right away here on Palm Bay Harbor. There are 3 points to cap throughout the map, starting at A, right there in the middle. It will open up in a short amount of time. Every time your team can have more numbers to cap that point, you will push your payload forward even further. But the interesting thing, Lemon, is if a team gets almost every point, but you're riding your payload the whole time, it can still be close. So it's not just about one thing. You have to be fighting on all fronts here on Palm Bay Harbor.
We have pretty much a mirror matchup except the Inferno versus the Hurricane, as you guys did just see. But this is a clash of the best Japanese pilots that we have. Reject versus LUNABREAK in our first quarterfinal of the day, beginning on our payload escort map. It's going to be so fun. Palm Bay Harbor was the most exciting map we saw yesterday.
Yes.
And it's about capturing your payload, pushing it. You can capture the enemy one and reverse that progress. There's consoles that spawn that can accelerate your payload's progress.
And LUNABREAK instantly high, up on top. But now we see this kind of trench being used as defense too, to block over that damage coming from on high. We see a few of those drones, those triangles there from Hurricane. They're drawing fire, kind of protecting the team on that top side. But this is big. They do not have to get down into the pit, into that fight, until A point opens up.
Yui on the Inferno. And usually the flyers, the ones in the sky, your Falcons and stuff, are going to be the ones that call a lot of the shots. They get a lot of information being up in the sky, while this Inferno is going to want to do the same thing. So much vision up here is going to be calling the team of LUNABREAK to start collapsing on Reject.
A just about halfway up. Yeah, you can see Yui moving to position. They drop the high ground, and now it's going to be toe-to-toe on A point. The welcome box very early going down. I think this means they're just going to be able to run it on the side of LUNABREAK.
Oh, Reject. They're boxing up. They're trying to use the natural cover of this roof, and this console is being highly contested. Reject are so close to capturing it, and LUNABREAK have to send what? Sister Welkin to disrupt this as much as possible. This Tricera is able to withstand a lot of that melee damage, will be forced to retreat along with the Welkin on the opposite end. Good progress from Reject at 14%, doubling LUNABREAK, but all the kills go to LUNABREAK.
Only 7% behind. This is interesting. We didn't see LUNABREAK go for A at all. I think they're knowing that they can maybe get same payload at B, and that's where the fight is really going to take place. They keep themselves up. I mean, look at Reject, 5 down. So if Reject went for the point, they were all in one spot, and LUNABREAK absolutely collapsed on them. We're almost tied still.
Patience paying off for LUNABREAK, and they're right on Reject's tail, who are down 3. So this is a moment for LUNABREAK to get good progress and to even go after the flyers in the sky. So Yui's sort of assessing where these respawns are coming from, because maybe you're not going to respawn as a team, and it could be a moment for LUNABREAK to go after isolated targets.
Really fascinating how confident LUNABREAK was with that opening maneuver. Now 5% ahead, so they're going to be trying to now gain position. Reject realized when they came back, they have to just go and set up house on B and stay there as long as possible, Lemon.
Oh, and now you're going inside of buildings where it's going to become a melee playground, and especially for someone like Macy on the Welkin, just spinning to win. Now the box is down, waits for the entry, and it's just box v box. You can also use it to stop people from getting through the entryways. I
like the way he's using it. It is getting taken down sometimes, but he's also bringing that cooldown. The welcome box 1-to-1 if you're the one activating it, so you get that cooldown right away. And now they just continue to go for the fight. Yui with the Inferno on the back line.
Oh my gosh, just raining down hell, and this is the narrows passageway. You won't be able to escape LUNABREAK at this moment as Yui's just unleashing.
They're trying to answer back. Look at this, back and forth. Now we're watching Karara try to do the same thing, but it's just the positioning wasn't there at first. You see one of the drones from Hurricane taking the damage instead of the strikers, and it is just not working out for Reject inside right now.
But LUNABREAK have a 10% lead at the moment, able to ward away the storm. That is Reject. We have a console that's about to spawn again. This will accelerate the payload, and this is such an important win condition. And LUNABREAK have all the kills and the number advantage to lead even more.
Yeah. You're seeing the fights much more, especially without the Stego here. Everybody's continuously moving. The Tricera is not really trying to fight in one spot. It is mobile all the time. So they're getting fights when there's not members of Reject around, then they're forcefully moving the payload. But right now, LUNABREAK is actually denying Reject's payload and pushing their own.
This is just chaos, and Arun is having such a hard time at the moment. Doubling, though, LUNABREAK in such a commanding lead. And now it's time to deal with the Reject flyers in the sky. But it is Neku who's doing well so far. Lori's going to have to force to go back to the ground, and now the Welkins are trying to protect those Ultra Heavies.
It's tough. The Welkin has to almost have his box, have the gas emitter up so they can deny the energy damage. But it's just not happening in time. We kind of split up for each one of these engaged. You already see that, like, LUNABREAK's having a breather out here. They know their payload's coming. They can just sit, and they're still on it. They're still on the other payload.
This is just turning into a hemorrhage. LUNABREAK are commanding this map, and Reject were able to keep up, but the console game has all been LUNABREAK capturing. And now you have this Tricera that's isolating, and raining down is Yui, but there's some backup. There's protection from Reject, but LUNABREAK will still break through their defenses.
Oh my gosh, there's so much raining down into the hallway right now where Reject's trying to get their payload out, up to the air, a box into the air. Can they get the Inferno? Maybe not enough juice on this one. Beautiful. Knocks it down with the assist of the team.
Yeah, it's so important that those jump slashes, they can't be parried.
Right.
And that's what's so difficult, and why Arun is a master on the Welkin. LUNABREAK, it just seems like inevitable for them to win this, but Reject are trying to group up their forces. They're all on the high ground and they're playing together, and they will go down as a team. There is a C console that's about to be captured, and is there anyone nearby from Reject to contest this? There's not.
It is not. Whether they were respawning, as right now as we see Karara are coming back in, they completely are pushed off of the point. The win condition is so tough to find here with how consistent LUNABREAK is with their focus, with their fire, and no deaths right now, as we see on the Inferno for Yui, but still in the face of every member of Reject.
Yeah, Karara was that star from Reject. We were looking forward to seeing if he could put the cape on his back for the team, and he falls continuously as he's not able to be the hero, at least for this map 1. LUNABREAK 50% away from map 1. And it's just been so well coordinated, so well executed. The objectives just immediately captured. Reject don't have a second to breathe.
Oh, you can hear the warnings going off. Out of energy, need to get back. A Welkin will hear that a lot of the times with the focus they get here on Palm Bay Harbor. And we're back to the side of LUNABREAK, just absolutely unleashing Inferno damage across the payload.
Yeah, Neku has been such a star now on the Hurricane. He was seen on the Falcon yesterday, and LUNABREAK just brought out all the stops. And really, they're doing exactly that to Reject. They just haven't been able to keep up progress-wise, as it's just a few more seconds left before LUNABREAK bring the payload home.
We're just seeing the Hurricane go down finally. Yeah, riding the payload in is the Tricera. Oh, the resist coming out. This is actually just a cluster of chaos in here right now. A lot of the gas is going out, trying to disrupt a little bit of that energy damage, as well as the focus of targeting, but it's not going to be enough. They're going to walk it in on this one, and LUNABREAK with 2% left are going to find that win on Palm Bay Harbor.
Wow. That is dominant from LUNABREAK. 100-51. It was neck and neck until those consoles came online, and just Reject couldn't get organized in those critical moments. And when you pick those high-risk fights is what matters, and there just wasn't enough kills from Reject to stand up.
And we expected this to be a tough game for Reject. We see the coordination of LUNABREAK. I think the early A capture as well threw me for a loop. None of LUNABREAK went, and it was a 5-person capture for Reject. You're like, sweet, they're going to push their payload forward. But who reached B first? LUNABREAK did. They know it wasn't necessary, and wiping the capturing Reject off the map, that absolutely put them in the lead.
Well, at least Reject will get to pick map 2.
They do get to pick map 2.
And we haven't seen where they like to go, because they've been sweeping their previous match. So that's going to be the big surprise. And now I guess you're not going to have to worry about, do you want to go to somewhere where there's Hurricane in the picture? After what LUNABREAK did, maybe avoid a Hurricane map.
MVP
so no
Yui there? MVP Inferno, Hurricane on that one?
The Infernos are always the ones popping off.
Yeah,
what about the Triceras? What about the guy who pushes the payload?
You could get payload success here, because objectives do weigh pretty hard, especially if you ride it the whole time. Somebody needs to have like 20 kills to take that away from you. So, and it's not like, hey, Tricera's doing objective. He needs to be on the objective for this one. So a lot of times you will see Tricera being able to bolster and bring back that MVP for it. So, but I am going to still say, I think Inferno. I think that damage was crazy.
Yeah, it's between the Inferno and the Hurricane for sure, and just also their role outside of the game. Because yes, laser beam go burr, kills very good.
That's true.
But how they're communicating, assembling the team. This is not a game. This is a game that's very much about team coordination and how you communicate. And those are the leaders I look forward to, the ones in the sky.
It's focusing down players and identifying what that quickest win condition is. Like a lot of the times when you have a Welkin in the game, it is focusing that Welkin. Because while very hard to kill by themselves and one person in a fight, you can quickly get them to box, and then a Welkin just feels kind of naked, right?
Yeah.
You run out of energy, all you hear is blurp, 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 and then you're blowing up. So a lot of the times we see teams getting to focus on that, and they remember that win condition. Because even if you feel like you're winning in a game, sometimes you relax, you let go, and we see that comeback occur. But a team like LUNABREAK is always on top of the situation.
And I like that Aleseness ban that we have because it removes a lot of that stall. Speaking of someone who...
That was so smart.
A striker that gets naked, you lose that armor, and Aleseness can just keep going and be that fly that buzzes around while the rest of your team kind of reassemble.
It's a great point.
And it's important that when you only do have that one life, as every other striker does except Aleseness, that you choose those moments. Even though you're an ultra heavy, you are not immune.
Yeah, we consider how bad of a day an Inferno and a Hurricane would have had on that map if Aleseness was let through. So I love that point, Lemon. It was a really good ban to come through, so LUNABREAK could do what they needed to.
And we were watching a lot of Inferno and Hurricanes, but then probably off in the distance is like an Aquila. That's just like low-key the MVP.
Oh, that's so true.
They're just off, and that's exactly where Aquila wants to be. Away, out of sight, out of mind, but living rent-free up here with probably the shots they were able to put down.
I can't wait to see the post-game stats on this one for the damage on LUNABREAK. And even the point where you saw the payload turning the corner to come to C, and they were all just family photos staring down the corridor. Unleashed, like that was just nuclear power coming from them. So I expect to see big damage numbers there, and I don't think there's too much for the side of Reject to consider that they did wrong. I think they were outpositioned and just outplayed there in the idea of how to win against LUNABREAK on Palm Bay Harbor. So no worry, they played their game. It just wasn't to that level.
Yachty versus Lori was the matchup I was looking forward to on the Aquilas, and it is very close in terms of damage. 159 to 153, like super close of what they're able to provide to your team. But it's not just about these numbers, it's when those kills happen.
Yeah, Yui and Neku exist, both doing 2 million damage. Direct damage as well, 500,000. So like you were saying, the Aquila was absolutely piercing those health bars down.
And I hope we get to appreciate them more. And that's what we love about the YouTube channel, is that you get to see the multiple POVs. So if you're a fan of Reject, if you're a fan of LUNABREAK, if you want to study. Yeah, and that's so cool. And shout out to Mecha Break for making that happen, so you're not missing your favorite team in any of those moments. So hopefully we got to see more Lori and Yachty in those moments. And it's the Inferno, you called it.
Woo! Bringing the heat. Look at that, 2 million damage. That is crazy. But you really want to look at the direct. Like 2 million will be your damage across the shield, across whatnot. But direct damage is you are taking health bars out. And if you take health bars out, that's going to be your melees looking to finish it off, because melee damage will bypass fluid armor. You're getting right to business with melee damage. So Inferno setting up so much for the team to get in and finish once that fight occurs.
And that trophy for our global invitational sits between both these teams. The pilots staring each other down, staring that trophy down, staring our cameraman down, and showing love to the fans who are up late, up early, or just awake here. And now thank you for
gone to bed.
Yeah. Thank you for giving the support to these pilots for the first event for Mecha Break. It's been so incredible being here in China. Here's the highlights of that exciting map one.
Great kills. This is where they were just firing down the corridor, bringing the pain, and basically winning the game on that one. Still very effective Tricera payload procedure that they had. I think if the fight ever came to the payload fully, they asked for the Welkin back, shield up, and disrupt what was actually affecting the payload, and then Welkin could go and play on the playground with whoever we wanted after they were safe, because at times we saw 4 or 5 members of Reject down, and Reject will choose to go for the all-out brawl here. 3 different sets if we go the full best of 3 here on Graceland Sky City. You have to win 2 to take it, and they will change each round. The maps will.
Well, both teams went to Graceland Sky City and dominated it. And we're going to start with the bans, and we're wasting no time getting back into the action. Is Aquila going to be considered? Is Inferno? Yui brought out that Inferno on Graceland Sky City against Team Tai yesterday. Tricera's out, so this is going to take a lot of the base fortifying that you have.
Take Stego out too, just for fun. Then you have the 2 sitting tanks on elevation gone, so everybody's going to have to be moving. It would just be funny. It's probably not going to happen. It looks like we might get air superiority taken out, so the Aquilas can start doing a lot of damage here. If this Falcon is banned, that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, and a reminder, you can't ban the same strikers from any other maps, so it's important to consider your bans throughout that series. So no Flyers, there's still Sky Raider, there's still a lot of other Ultra Heavies with both Hurricane and Inferno in the picture, something both these teams like. I like Yachty just immediately getting on the Aquila, yeah. But the Narukami from Lori, that is something he brought out last time.
Ooh, and it was pretty effective too. Some scary stuff. So without the Falcon, they still go for the Naru. That's just going to be on aim and finding targets. But they know that Naru can't be found themselves now, so a little protection in that ban.
Aleseness Panther.
Carrara, what do you got? A Hurricane for us?
There's so much melee, too, on LUNABREAK's side. Welkin, Panther, even Aleseness is a very solid melee. Like, LUNABREAK got the gloves on. They want to tussle.
They're ready to absolutely fight. I mean, Stego and Welkin aren't necessarily together in these fights. They may be with the coordination, but yeah, I'd say it's like Aleseness and Welkin fighting around Panther, soloing and trying to get somebody out of position so Aleseness and Welkin can then jump on, and it's Inferno that gets locked in here for Carrara and not the switch to the Hurricane as we saw last time.
That Tricera ban makes so much sense now. The Tricera ban for the game plan of LUNABREAK to go for all melee, because you know who hates melees? Tricera, because he's just constantly staggering any melee that gets to him. That is the ultimate anti-melee, and this is the game plan. And especially on this first round of Graceland Sky City, you're going to have a central building that you can actually go inside of, and this is going to be our arena for the melee.
You can see a few of the map changes there as we switch from 1 to 1, or 1, 2, and 3. Teams are ready. Teams are poised as they set into their strikers. The pilots ready to do battle again. Let's get onto the map and see what they have. Everybody drops in, and it is going to be elimination. 1st to 6 here on Graceland Sky City.
And it is series point for LUNABREAK and Snipers. Narukami versus Aquila. It's going to be up to Yachty and Lori to stand out, to show up for Japan, for their teams. In this Welkin box, Yudon has already isolated one.
To Arun. Oh, look at the focus right over here as well. The team tries to approach and get that kill right away. Arun gets out with a sliver of health and starts to recoup there.
Smart from Yudon. He was so low on energy, didn't want to take that 1v1, or at least what looked like a 1v1 against the other Welkin. He's got to choose those battles carefully, as LUNABREAK now have distanced themselves from the rest. Gonna rely on that sniper to go for initial damage and then pounce with those melees.
No kills just yet. You'll see him rack up at the top of the screen. Like we said, it's a best of 3. And this first one is one of the most open maps that they'll be fighting in here on Graceland Sky City. And the Inferno damage still from Carrara coming in.
Yeah, he's letting it rain, but Arun with shots. Azuria 2, LUNABREAK will take a solid lead. Despite Reject having such an early good fight, they had isolations with the Welkin box, but not able to finish up those kills is going to hurt them.
What? Triple kill for Arun now. Oh, sorry, that's double. Triple comes up gold shield. I just thought he was going super ham in this situation. Neku gonna pick up one for the team as well with the Welkin slam down. They are looking great here on Graceland Sky City.
Yeah, and maybe that's the beauty of the Narukami being able to be in stealth, be out of sight, out of mind, and sneak up when the moment is perfect. And speaking of perfect, this is a pretty flawless round 1 from LUNABREAK. 1 kill away from getting that first round. It's a 1st to 2 to win not only the map, but the series for LUNABREAK. And there it is.
Chaos. I love that. Banning out the Tricera means the entire map is mobile. But that was weird. We didn't see anybody sitting on the high ground. Loved it. Loved it. And it's going to be the underground fight now, just in the building. This is much easier to get somebody like sectioned off from their team, and that's what LUNABREAK loves to do.
Yeah, without that Tricera, how can you really be comfortable building up a base of ultra heavies when Tricera is the main pillar of that? As LUNABREAK now take to the skies to assess the positioning, but Yudon is going to get caged by Neku, who's just dancing around. He's low on energy, low on health, and is going to choose that moment and call for some reinforcements from LUNABREAK.
Yeah, get the emitter jammer out, so welcome boxes are down. Oh, I thought he was going to go all the way down there. Didn't realize they were so close. So not a problem. Love the Welkin fight, though. Both managing their energy very well.
All right, let's see what Yui can do. Now just running into his own teammates' Welkin box, but LUNABREAK looked nicely grouped up. We're looking through Arun.
Yeah.
Now with the Panther, This does direct health damage, so ignores that armor, looking for low health targets.
I think what Reject's doing a really good job of understanding when they're locked on and just quick jumping. Yarune's having a hard time getting this Panther on people with the initial dashes, which is not normal. So Reject is definitely trying to kind of dip, duck, dodge out of these situations. It's working for now, but 3-1, they need to get some more.
Arun was able to at least finish off Yachty, and that is one of the stars of Reject. You get rid of him, it seems like the deck of cards falls for Reject. They got 1 kill, but it's 2 away from LUNABREAK to win the map in the series and to go to the semifinals, and it's Arun clashing with Ewan to deal with the stragglers of Reject. They haven't been grouped up for quite some time. 1 kill away, 1 flyer in the sky, and it's LUNABREAK on a mission.
And we've wanted to see the Narukami Lorax going in, fighting almost melee with the sniper, and we're getting it in this one multiple times on the ground in the face of the opponents.
LUNABREAK, oh, they have met quite a challenge from their brethren from Japan, and Reject chose to go to this map, but soon to crumble. They are surviving quite long. They haven't given up that last kill to LUNABREAK quite yet, but Reject's kill only came in the middle of that round, and this is all she wrote. LUNABREAK to the semifinal.
The GG in the chat from the pilots. Striker high fives, and the winner is indeed LUNABREAK. They break another opponent, and in such strong fashion. You're going to have to watch each VOD on these guys, but I don't know if it offers you much because they are adapting and figuring out what they need to do in every moment with the strikers they bring to the table. It's going to be tough to take this team down.
To show us the power of what the triple melee with the Panther, the Welkin, and the Elyseness to ban the Tricera. This is a LUNABREAK that was dialed in on the strategy for Graceland Sky City. Knows everyone's been scrimming this tower defense style of the Ultra Heavies, getting rid of the Tricera. You take one important brick from that structure, and no one wanted to really kind of stack together for that. What a strategy, and executed flawlessly.
I take this as a favorable move that most teams might start to consider the Tricera ban on Graceland Sky City. The map is much more freedom, much more coordination from the team instead of trying to break, like you said, that 3-pillar tank composition that can just garrison on the high ground. So I would not be surprised to see more Tricera bans there if a team decides they want to play on Graceland Sky City. Here is LUNABREAK. A victory, a lineup in front of the trophy that they have a very good chance of lifting later in the week.
Yes, they move on to the semifinal to face the winner of Orca versus Anubis. We could be having a LUNABREAK Anubis, not to jinx it yet.
Too early.
Don't underestimate what Orca can do, but Anubis LUNABREAK match in the semi is like sort of a primer for the grand final, in my opinion.
It is true. It is true. Those two teams coordinated the most, I think can quickly adapt the most. Mainly because the hours they've played, but the striker pools, they don't feel uncomfortable, it looks like, on anything that's happened throughout these maps. And that is scary. That is definitely scary. But watching them, you learn so much. You understand what can be kind of flexed and played outside the box, like a Narukami in your face, being more of distraction, right? It almost plays like, this is just boom. But it's like an Elyseness because you go in, but you get out. And you cause somebody to look at you and then like, oh, well, they're kind of invis, so I can't do anything. And that's kind of what you do with an Elyseness. You're like, I'm going to fight you, and then I'm going to leave. And I'm going to fight you, and then I'm going to leave. And it just, with the Elyseness band, Naru kind of just wreaks havoc, too.
Yeah, Reject had a good effort. I mean, capturing that first console on the payload map, they had a good start. Maybe not a good start on the first round because they did get 6-0'd on Graceland Sky City on the first round, but then they had kind of that early initiation of being able to box someone up, but just not able to finish off those kills, just not getting the chase downs on those swifty members of LUNABREAK. And this is what this game is all about, and you heard through all the interviews just how mobile this game is, how fast it is. It's so hard to keep up, and LUNABREAK were incredible.
Great use of the Panther as well. I think with the Panther dislodging people, especially on the underground, we can fight inside the building, we can fight around the building. The moment you're pushing that person, like staggers are short, but that push keeps them in sight, allows the team to readjust for that entire lunge of your lance. So really effective if the Welkin's there to jump on that. Then that person has now been locked up for at least 2 seconds, a few more seconds in the Welkin box, and then you're stunned because there are drones in the box that stun you, as well as Welkin swinging around. So it's just like, you are locked up for life. Sleep paralysis right there in the game.
Yeah, and a different look at a LUNABREAK to show us that you don't have to just run all the ultra heavies and just have this forgivable lot of fluid armor, lot of health. They showed us the capacity of a triple melee. And imagine when we get to the best of 5s near the end of our tournament, where you're almost going to have to go to every map that is available in Mecha Break. That is going to show us who is the best team in this tournament.
We've only seen, I think, the surface for LUNABREAK, but everybody gets to see that as well. They are such an incredible team. We knew they were going to be coming into this tournament. Like teams like Extra Turn played really well against Celestial, being those are 2 more that we can see coming through just as hot right now. And we'll see the stats from this game. Arun on that Panther going absolutely crazy to be on the top for his team, but we'll have to see who does get that MVP. Lorax there, 230 direct, 582,000. It's pretty good damage.
Yeah, it's hard for me to pick an MVP because it was just such a team effort. I didn't see too many 1v1s. It was a lot of almost avoiding those 1v1s and going for the guaranteed win of involving a second or a third teammate. No matter how good LUNABREAK was, they were never dumb about things. They were never overconfident, and that's what I love about watching this team.
Check this out. Look at over on the side of Sara and Kurusa with the the Luminays. Damage actually for Kurosa there a little bit. We see Sara staying completely in the healing form except for a few bits of damage. So interesting to see the Luminays play different there and actually switching forms. But it is going to be Arun dashing